Good morning, everybody. So this is the second day of drilling. We are on our ninth 10-foot pipe that makes us 90 feet. Once we hit 100 feet, supposed to test and see whether or not we have good water at that depth. If we do and we get good flow, we'll try a couple of various different types of water pumps. We have electric water pumps too. One of a smaller diameter, maybe 3/4 to maybe 1 inch, and the other is about 1.25 to 1.5 inches. So I'm hoping to be able to have enough flow for the 1.5 inch with the electric water pump. But there's going to be a little bit of debate on whether we're not going to lower a electric pump down in and then be an exclusively electric pump requiring some type of electrical or generator, or if we want to try to put in a pump jack and then come back later with an electrical version of a pump jack, which would be a little slower, but allow us to pump jack manually or use power for faster flow for when we feed our rice fields. Everything else is going well. They worked late into the night last night, and I did upload a video for part 1 with a little explanation and just a lot of drone footage. What's real interesting is that they're all willing to work late hours and stay here consistently all day and with minimal breaks. But of course, when you're drilling, you're just kind of sitting and watching it. This is what you get for 8, 9, 10, 12 hours a day. Just listen to music and stare at your phone while the drill bit does its thing. What you're looking at is an old axle turned up on its side. The axle housing has been removed off of the outside, and then they've welded in a drilling pipe, and essentially turned the electric motor, attached it to the drive shaft, which then turns the axle housing, ring and pinion, and that electric motor then of course drives the pipe that goes down into the ground. It's actually all completely homemade drilling rig, and it's actually pretty ingenious how they put this thing together. I wasn't out here when they set up, but it's pretty simple the way they make new connections. Some of the videos and stuff I have show them doing some of that at the beginning, and then when they trip pipe, they pull it out in 20-foot sections to change the bit or whatever. But here, let me show you what they got going on over here. So they have a water pump. This water pump pumps a slurry up to the top of the drill rig, down into the hole, which helps push out all of the water and muck and mud, rock and whatnot. So here, take a look at that. And their electrical setup is just to have a mini terminal right there, and runs to my generator, which is up in there. And so Alright, so you can see here they're going to make a new connection. So I'll come over here and kind of watch what they're doing. Once they separate the pipe, they crank this guy back up to the top. So we are estimating that we hit around 75% rock all the way down, and we're going to stop at 100 feet and test, see if we get enough water flow. So he brings the pipe up there, makes a secure connection, then they'll lower it down. Onto this connection, where they'll wrench it in place and start all over. And then of course they're going to start all over. They'll send the guys to the top and they'll use their body weight as a weight to push the drill down. Now they have a source of water that runs off down to the bottom of my property where the water table comes up to the surface kind of naturally, and so they can just put in a pump and pull water from that. So I am going to guess that we are probably already in a good area of water. We're so isolated in our property that we won't have to worry about any type of contamination from other people's stuff or wells or anything like that, because we'll be far away from everything. And to help speed the drilling, they've been adding these counterweights of dirt or rocks to try to get them as heavy as possible to drill as hard and as fast as possible. Yesterday we were expecting them to hit 100 feet yesterday, but they ended up hitting some pretty dense rock. So Everything here is done basically manually, and you know, kind of MacGyvered systems. You know, like in the U.S., we've got these big drill trucks and drill rigs that come out, stand up a big tower, and they have all of this hydraulic stuff going on. All this stuff is just done manually to the best of their ability. These guys can go up to 150 feet before they run out of pipe for me. We're hoping that at 100 feet we can stop. So, but there you go. Now we're working on our 100 feet. That's our 10th pipe going down. And I'll come back later whenever we know a little more. All right, I got my my irrigation going. It ain't the greatest. We have kind of MacGyvered a little hose here, and you can see long hose stretches all the way back to our pump way over there. Our flow is, well, not that great, but this is our water. It's clear. I don't know if it's drinkable, but it ain't muddy, so that's encouraging. But we just gotta do what we can for the time being as we spray just by hand, like water in a garden. It's been a pretty dry season. We can't quite reach the corn way out there, but we bought some extra hose so that we can kind of walk further in and try to, you know, water other areas later. The flow is starting to get a little bit weak. Was quite a bit stronger before, mainly because after about half an hour, the well begins to kind of go dry, and then you got to give it 20 minutes to, you know, 10 minutes or something, you know, to kind of recoup itself. We're hoping and praying that the Lord will open up the well for some heavy pressure. We'd like to be able to run a 2.5-inch pipe with a electric motor and run some big sprinklers and stuff, but whatever the Lord wills this well to be for the time being, we'll continue drilling it later if it doesn't change. This farm life, though, sometimes you have the rain, sometimes you don't. Okay, it has been about 3 days. We've been kind of watering the corn little by little, and we are confident that this water is relatively pure. So from 93 feet down, first taste of my well water. It's not aquifer water, it's from the Lech water, but it's way deep, and we're out in the middle of nowhere, and we're I don't know, half a mile from any other wells or buildings or any type of cesspool or septic system. So we should be safe. Plenty of distance, pure drinking water. Here goes. Tastes like water. Of course, it came out of a bottle that had a little bit of sweetness in it, so it retains that, kind of has that flavor. But it tastes like hydrated water straight out of the ground, unfiltered and raw. But we'll find out later on if I die. I may be stuck here for a little longer than I thought. Take care, guys. Okay, so as you can see, the 1/2-inch hose, decent flow, clean, pure. I've been drinking it. I'm just filling up this drum for rinsing off at the end of the day. And I sprayed it on my head. Felt good. Felt real good. Water tastes great, and I'll let you know if it makes me sick. Well, they finished, packed up, and left. Broke it down like they was never here. Well, except for all the trash they left. Typical construction site. It only hit 93 feet before their drill bits, all their drill bits were broken. They're homemade drill bits, so it's not surprising, but I think they hit the bedrock and they couldn't punch through the bedrock. So 93 feet, and we have an electric pump down. Total cost for everything, including the pump, was 180,000 pesos. So whatever that is in dollars, it's probably about $4 grand, a little over $4,000. And they left us a bigger hose over here. You can see that. For whatever reason, maybe we can get a bigger pump down there. I don't know. We'll see. But this is a 1/2 inch diameter, and it pumps mostly clear water. But of course, you got to let it pump for a while so that it clears up. So they're saying about 3 days it should clear up. So hopefully that's the case. We may have to just let it run. Last day here on the farm. Fly out tomorrow. I kind of have a loud generator going right now, but the well we drilled, we have it wrapped in like this. We haven't capped it completely properly yet because we want to continue drilling. We can get about 55-60 gallons of water out of the well before it kind of starts to struggle to bring water up. We're not quite into the aquifer, so, but the water is pure and drinkable. I drank some of it. So here's the farm over here. It's kind of hard to tell, but the corn is beginning to flower all over, which means it's going to slowly by slowly begin to put on ears of corn. We're just praying that we have a good harvest. There's my illustrious brother-in-law out here doing his best to water the corn. It's been a very dry season. Probably will be preceded or proceeded by a wet season, with El Nino to an El Niña. But little projects we'll do while I'm not here is just kind of clean up the trash that's in here, all this bamboo. After harvest, we'll try to scatter this, clean up all this area, prepare for the next driller to come out, just like that. I'm actually very sad to leave this place. It truly has become almost like home to me. There's just so much to do out here, and you know, I could find myself living out here indefinitely, absolutely, for sure. But that's for the future. All right.